Hey you guys, Dragon Empress here. The day of love has approached us, my friends, and I want to talk about ships. How weird my ships are, other ships in the MHA community, and how toxic fans could get with ships, let's just say that. Now these are my rules for shipping two characters. If they interact, that's a bonus, definitely a bonus, but it doesn't count if it's like normal, regular, everyday interactions. Like if they say hi and the other one says hi back, or if they act like buddies, that doesn't really count as like a shipping interaction or shipping material. If they act very similar, however, I will ship them, such as Tetsu and Kirishima. I will ship them. If it's like a friendly interaction like Shinzo and Kaminari, I will not ship them. However, if they didn't interact at all and their personalities match, then I definitely will ship them no matter what. So yeah, for me it's all about personality and how they match up and how compatible they are. I do not allow toxic or pedophilic ships whatsoever. If you ship Shinzo with Zawa or All Might with Deku, you are out of my book. Just out of my book. I don't care if it's not real. I don't care if they're just anime characters. It is just disgusting. I do not like Bakudeku because it is a toxic ship. And yes, if you've seen my last Bakugo video, I was not satisfied with Bakugo's apology because it did not feel like a real apology. But nonetheless, I do not appreciate any of these ships. But if you, like, age up the character, I wouldn't really bat an eye at the ship. Heck, the personalities don't always have to match. Sometimes opposites attract. Such as Danger right here, where I made the comedic twist in which like dark, broody person like Stain falls in love with a bubbly, happy person like Nejire. So yeah, it doesn't always have to match. It could be like somewhat compatible in the fact that hero society doesn't accept him, yet he tries to be a hero. And she always tries to be her hero, and hero society accepts her. So yeah, it could also make an interesting story as well. The personalities don't always have to match up, because it could make a very interesting fanfic. So yeah, that's basically all my ground rules for a ship, and why I ship them. So these ships will go on all sexualities, and it will not go on pedophilic or bestiality, because those are too creepy, and I'm not touching that with a 1,000-foot pole. I am not touching any of those. With that being said, let's start on my first MHA ship, Delaria X Mineta. Now this is the ship I got most development for, mostly because Delaria is my OC, and a lot of OCs have been shipped with Mineta before, which I had no clue when I was first getting into the fandom. I thought everyone, and I mean everyone, hated Mineta for being a pervert and somewhat of a jerk in season 1, but he got better over time once the seasons went on. And then once it was revealed he was bisexual, it was kind of coincidence since I made Delaria bisexual. I made her a perverted young teen who was still going through puberty and absolutely loved men and women, and would always be made fun of whenever she was around other people because she didn't know what boundaries were at first, until she kept on getting punished and sent to the principal's office in UA High School. And then when she met Mineta, she was like, oh boy, there's another person exactly like me! And they both got excited for each other. But the problem was, despite having like top tier grades, they both got top tier grades. They were like absolutely let's just say all out when it came to their relationship. Pervertedness aside, Delaria has a caring father and an absolutely caring mother, and she used to have a former mother, but this mother will lead to spoilers for my Bakutoga story, so I'd rather not get into that. But yeah, she has time hair, and this hair allows her to send objects through time and smaller people through time, but she can't do this too much or else she might cease to exist. So she also has an interest in baking as well as hairstyling, and is an imperfect friend to Denki as well as Bakugo, especially Bakugo, since despite being in my continuity, he still treats people like crap somewhat, but makes up for it later on in the end. So yeah, Deloria is one of the rejects along with Mineta, and she tries her best to at least fit into society for him, all the while trying to help him out in his situations. Like when he got harassed by Midnight after the UA betrayal, she was there to comfort him about his problems and recent nightmares from that travesty. She's overall a very sweet and caring person. She has a lot of weaknesses. I mean, a lot of weaknesses besides being a nerd and such, and being a pervert. And overall, I wanted to balance out that type of stuff because, let's be honest, there's too many overpowered characters in the MHA fandom. And it's about time we get in, like, at least an underpowered or human character in this. Now, this ship is the most wholesome canon, ex-canon ship I've ever come across, besides Izuku x Ochako. And this one is Inasha x Kami. These are like so sugar-coated, I feel like I have cavities just talking about these two. Inasha is basically a very silly, wholesome guy from Shiketsu High School. And whenever he does something wrong or makes a mistake, he like harshly bows so hard he bumps his head on the concrete. And Kami is a bubbly but somewhat just as dumb girl who like barely remembers certain events and absolutely talks like this. So she talks like a teenage girl, even when she's supposed to be like 17, like 1 year older than him. Which is pretty much okay in my book. If you're like only a little bit older than your love interest, then it's shippable. But either way, these two are like so adorable together whenever they interact on screen. And he always compliments Kani and says that she's doing a good job with her social skills, since before some people like make fun of her social skills and the fact that she always talks in slang. But Inasha encourages her to keep talking like this, and it's incredibly adorable to watch.
Kami, your social skills are top-notch! I'm so impressed! Hey, Baldy, this girl didn't train with us before, did she? Correct!
Amazing!
Look at that! She's just so bold! Get away from him! Hey, Kami! Guess we're on the same team!
Hey, Yoarashi! Super coincidence. Glad to be with ya. Yeah, Yoarashi. You're totally one of the best of the first years.
It's really reassuring to be on the same team as a fellow Shiketsu student.
I find it such a shame that she has a crush on Todoroki in the canon. If only that crush went towards Inasha, like seriously, they're just made for each other.
Who's this smoldery looking two-toned boy? You're like super hot. I'm crazy psyched to train with a total babe like you.
Kami!
Hey, Yoarashi, do you know him or something? Seriously, can I like have your number?
Sure.
Wait, you're Endeavor's son. You're hero royalty on top of being a snack? That's so totally amazing!
In my continuity, they pretty much fell in love without CG noticing until the last minute where he was training with them, and they ended up being distracted by each other. And as Inasha kept apologizing, Kami was against the fact that CG always pointed out all their flaws and didn't let them be heroes the way they wanted to. And which is how it pretty much starts off in my fanfiction book, the MHA one-shots. But nevertheless, in my continuity in the future, these two have two adorable twin boys, and there's more details about them on my Instagram, but nonetheless, this ship is way too wholesome, and I never understood why people ship CG with Kami. I mean, CG always yells at, picks on, and belittles Kami while Kami is oblivious to it. I don't really consider that a healthy relationship per se. Dabi x Tamura Shigaraki. Oh my gosh, I love this to death! Sorry. These two are just made for each other. I don't care what the show says, I don't care what the voice actors say, they have so much chemistry. And I know they're on screen together, usually they work as a team, but my gosh, they both have tragic childhoods. Both turn out to get white hair in the future. Well, Dabi in the past, technically. Both have, like, very tragic backstories. Both getting abandoned by their family or destroying their families, such as when Dabi ended up, like, destroying his family just by simply destroying himself, or when Tamura literally destroyed his family by shattering them into pieces, turning them into dust, and abusing his father after getting abused by said father. And they both do have abusive dads! Endeavor was abusive to Dabi too. Not by much, but still, he didn't want Dabi to burn himself in the forest, but he didn't stop him, so that's technically abuse. The two of them would bond over this found love and similarities. And they're both freaking villains, 21-year-old villains. The ages match up too. It just, everything perfectly aligns, and it's just so good. I read several fan fictions on these two, and I even wrote several fan fictions. Granted, it's kind of torture porn, but nonetheless, it works. It freaking works. This is like the Hot Topic couple. It's just so good. I find it hilarious. Anyone I talk to about this couple, they agree that it's a pretty good couple. The only thing that it clashes with is Hawk's ex-Dabi, which I'm like, I'm iffy about that because mostly Hawks, like, battled Dabi, and at some point, he was afraid of him when he revealed his real name and knew what it was about. And this relationship wouldn't really go well since he could burn his freaking wings off! Nonetheless, I am ride or die for Tamura x Dabi, aka Toya Todoroki x Tamura Shigaraki, and I absolutely love it. And if you hate it, that's fine with me. But I'm gonna keep making these two gay dads because the chemistry between them is adorable, and the fact that they can't raise kids that well is freaking hilarious. I love this couple to death, and I absolutely give it a 10 out of 10, and I will be writing about it till I end. To be continued, since this video's gone on way longer than I anticipated, that and I got millions more couples to ship. So we've got ourselves a very long saga here. With that being said, have a great Valentine's Day! Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Links to my profiles are in the description below, and have a good day! Bye bye!